I'm the youngest grandkid of some people who were born here in the 1880s. They were born here before the railroad, before Killeen.
Before there was a Killeen, there were a number of small communities all in this area. Sugarloaf, Palo Alto, some of these names that we see represented on elementary schools now were farming communities.
Settlers came and they started their farming. This was the day, you know, if a man had a mule to pull his plow, he was pretty lucky.
Typically of the time, it was large families on small farms, and everybody lived a similar way of life.
You would have families who would have 10 children. That wasn't uncommon. And they would live sort of on their own off of the land around them, whether it was hunting and fishing or growing crops of their own. They produced what they needed to survive and what they needed for their family to survive.
On May 15, 1882, the farmers of western Bell County looked up from their plows as a Gulf, Colorado, and Santa Fe locomotive rolled by. Where it stopped, a brand new town called Killeen was born, named for Frank P. Killeen, the assistant general manager of the railroad.
The train was anticipated. When it finally did arrive and the word got around, they did, of course, celebrate. You can read in all the books about Killeen that they had a big crowd. And as everybody knows, the one young man went out and roped the smokestack on the locomotive.
The crowd watched and, as was customary in the time, fired their pistols into the air and threw their hats up in celebration. It really was this sort of coming together of what would become a community with these folks.
When the railroad arrived, it made the commerce picked up, considerably, because they didn't have to haul their farm produce to Belton or Temple or to a larger market. They could ship it by railroad.
Killeen was basically a small trading center that served a number of outlying rural communities within probably a 15 or 20 mile radius. In the late teens and 20s, cotton was the foundation of the agricultural economy. And at one time, Killeen had 5 cotton gins.
They stacked up cotton bales on the railroad sidings for miles on each side of the depot.
Gradually, people started moving in. People who had, I think, the ambition perhaps to get off the farm, open a little store, open a hotel, to take advantage of the business that was going to come to town with the trade.
The young city of Killeen grew rapidly. It didn't take long for the town to attract entrepreneurs and all kinds of service providers that every town needs. By the turn of the century, 780 people lived in Killeen, and none of it would have happened without the coming of the railroad, May 15, 1882.
Still today, we celebrate May 15th in Killeen. We celebrate the train coming to Killeen and creating Killeen. The mayor proclaims the day. We, ask for people to fly their flags proudly and really try to remember the history of that train that brought us Killeen and made us who we are.